Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars.
I wanna be next to you.
Die with a Smile. Right, it's 11:28. It's Friday. There are a load of new movies that come out today, and that is why every Friday I have a little catch-up with movie critic Van Connor to talk about two of the movies that come out today and find out if they are actually worth going to see with the family or on your own, or just to completely veto them and not bother at all. Welcome back to the show, Van Connor.
My pleasure as always, Mr. Bull. Hey, do you know, if the world was ending, I'd want to be next to you as well.
Well, thanks, Van. Thank you very much. All right, so good week for movies or bad week for movies? What would you say?
Great week for movies. Great week. Do you know what? It's Halloween week, so you'd think it'd be all horror movies. It's not, and yet the movies that are out are like, some of them are really good.
Okay, so we are going to start with Heretic, and I really love the look of this. Of course, this is the new Hugh Grant movie where he plays, quite a different character to what he's used to playing, shall we say, Van?
Yeah, there's no marmalade sandwiches or floppy hairdos in sight on this one. So Hugh Grant is a middle-aged man, Mr. Reed, very deranged British man in big glasses and an old tatty cardigan. And he is visited in his home one day by two sort of 20-ish-year-old Mormon girls who are struggling to get the sign-ups they need for the church. They've got his name on a list. He wants them to come round, tell him more. They turn up, and it turns out that he actually knows more about religion than they do. He invites them. Come in, we'll have a chat, tell me about Mormonism. And he very quickly, this spirals away into a night of psychological and physical torture whilst he torments these two young girls to try and get them to question their faith and abandon their beliefs in effectively any theology or religion of any kind, using, amongst many other tricks, the power of Radiohead and The Air That I Breathe by the Hollies. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. Here's a clip from the absolutely terrifically fun Heretic.
As I understand it, stop me when I go wrong, he was visited in the night by an angel called Moroni,
Yeah.
who showed him where he could locate some golden plates near his home. His mysterious translation of those plates form the basis of this.
Wow. No, you read more than we do. No, seriously, we should be more like you, Mr. Reed. Mr. Reed.
Oh, he plays the part so well. And I was only speaking to somebody earlier today, actually, who said they'd seen the trailer to this, but had absolutely no idea if it was a thriller or a comedy. And I'm assuming it's a bit of both.
Bit of both at times. Bit of thriller, bit of comedy, bit of horror. It's I think, best described as a religious theological chiller, for lack of a better term. It's a fantastic Hugh Grant movie. It's like nothing else he's ever done. My friend Megan is literally an academic fan of Hugh Grant. Has been going gangbusters to this thing. I've seen it twice. I wound up seeing this a second time just by accident. And I've absolutely loved it. I don't think the ending quite works. I think the ending's a bit hackneyed, a bit contrived, a bit lacking in subtlety, so much so that you might find yourself thinking back on The Departed, of all things. And it doesn't quite go as hard as you want it to, but the swings it does take are big and lofty and powerful, and they land. Hugh Grant, like I say, tons of fun in this. The two young actresses opposite him, Sophie Thatcher from Yellow Jackets, relative unknown Chloe East, both hold their own opposite him, and it can't be an easy task because he's going big here. This is big Hugh Grant. Like, this is swinging from the rafters, quite wily Hugh Grant, dropping in Jar Jar voices and weird Scottish accents here and there. It's lunacy, but it's a lot of fun.
What are you going for then? 3-star movie? 4-star movie?
Oh, I'm going for 4. But the thing is, if they'd stuck the landing a little bit better at the end, I could genuinely have pushed this to a 5. Totally.
Wow. Okay. Well, if you want to see Heretic, I mean, it sounds and looks amazing. I urge you to watch the trailer today if you are slightly interested in this. You can see it this weekend because it's showing at Odeon, Phoenix Picture House, Curzon and View in Oxford, as well as Cineworld Whitney and Didcot, as well as Regal Picture House in Henley and The Light in Banbury. So there are many chances for you to catch Heretic this
getting
weekend.
Around, isn't it? Yeah.
It is absolutely getting around, and I can see why, if it's as good as you say. Right, let's move on to Anora then. I don't know a huge amount about Anora. It's a romantic comedy, I think.
At times, I mean, it's a bit of everything at times. Like Heretic, it's really having its cake and eating as far as the genre hopping goes. And this is actually a bit more overt about that. This is a film that really takes much bigger swings with tones and going off and being a different movie for 5 minutes here and there. You will hear a lot about this in the next 3 months because this more than likely is an Oscar contender. This more than likely is going to wind up in the list of 10 films that get nominated for Best Picture come January, and then obviously we have the Oscars in March. This is the new one from Sean Baker, director of Tangerine, The Florida Project, Red Rocket, amongst others. This might be my favourite film of his as well. It stars Mikey Madison from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, one of the most recent Scream sequels, as a Brooklyn sex worker named Annie. Full name, Anora. She gets effectively offered the Pretty Woman package by a sort of 20-year-old son of a Russian oligarch. You know, come and be my girlfriend for a week for an extortionate sum of money, you know, which she does. It goes very well. She winds up married to him, as one does in this scenario. It's an impromptu Vegas wedding. His parents and family soon find out about this and dispatch one of the family's hired goons and his henchmen to basically drag her by the scruff of her neck through New York one night to try and get the marriage annulled. But before they get to the courthouse, they first have to find the husband, who has gone missing and seemingly gone on this drug-addled bender through NYC for the night, leading them to go through all the clubs, restaurants, video arcades, pool halls that he likes to frequent. It's absolutely madcap, but it's harrowing, it's heartbreaking, it's very touching, and it's very funny at the same time. So I've got a clip for you early on. This is Annie talking to her strip club boss.
I got a kid who wants someone who speaks Russian.
You know, Jimmy, the girls and I have been talking, and if your cousin doesn't start showing us some respect, we're not gonna tip out anymore.
All right, I'll talk to him.
Who are you talking about, the DJ?
All right, seriously?
I shared my playlist with him, and he was very rude and dismissive.
You're killing me. Let's go, come on.
No, I'm eating my food.
That's why you have Tupperware, keep things fresh.
He's eating.
He's a spender, come on, let's go.
Time is money, baby. Get a roll on it.
So this kind of sounds like a hybrid of Pretty Woman versus The Hangover.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said to you before, Pretty Woman versus Wolves, the recent George Clooney one, because it kind of has that being dragged through the night, the never-ending night mission that you're on kind of feeling to it. Like I say, it takes those swings between being a dark-hearted drama to being a dark-hearted comedy to being a dark-hearted thriller. Dark-hearted would be the term at the centre of it all. Mikey Madison in the lead is absolutely terrific. Like, I've seen her in other things, and she's never really sort of resonated with me. He's never really caught on with me. I've never looked at him and thought, that's a star. Here, I do think, oh, wow. Oh, what a performance. She's never getting a role this good. It's the perfect blend of material, performer, performance, and director handling the whole shebang. And it's instantly one of my favourite movies of this year. I can't wait to see this again. I mean, it says a lot about how good a week this is for films that I think we've got 4 out this week that I had to really whittle down to 2 for this, and it's really been a Sophie's Choice a week. To see Anora, it's like nothing else. It really is its own thing, but it's a lot of fun and with a lot of thrills and a lot of suspense and just a lot of heart as well.
Well, that's enough of a sales pitch for me. If it's like nothing else you've ever seen, absolutely go and see it. Anora is out in cinemas from today, and you can see that this weekend at the Odeon, Phoenix Picture House, Curzon and View in Oxford, as well as Cineworld Witney and Didcot, and The Light in Banbury also showing it. What have we got to look forward to next week, Van? Are there any biggies coming out?
We're getting Christmassy next week, mate. We're going to the North Pole with Chris Evans and Dwayne Johnson and Lucy Liu for Red One this next week. And also, I don't know if you're aware, but there is this adorable little, 3-foot tall bear in a blue coat and a red hat. He has a
what's
thing
his
about
name?
Sandwiches. I forget his name. He's something about a holiday.
Peter?
That's it. Paddington in Peru. Paddington in Peru is next week.
Well, I can't wait to hear what you think about that when you get to see it this week, of course. Brilliant. We'll chat on Friday next week. Have a lovely weekend, Van.
Till the next time, good sir.
Thank you very much. We'll catch up on Friday. I've got the latest on the roads coming up, and then an absolute classic from Queen to play for you next as well. Stay there.